Welcome back again. We're talking little track and field with assistant track and field coach Kevin Clancy. Coach, we left off at the break. You were talking a little bit about the strength of the men's team. I thought we would spend a little time talking about the women's team and some of their strengths.
Yeah, it's very similar with the exception of Hannah Metzinger, who is our excellent javelin thrower. It's very similar. We're strong from the sprints all the way up to the distance athletes. We have a lot of returners, Demita Ford, Jasmine Brown, brought in Fatima Funderburk and Jonavette Perez in the short sprints. They ran very well as freshmen. And then one name, usually here on the distance side, is Livia Mahaffey, and she was our cross-country Peach Belt Conference champion, individual national qualifier. She's switched down to the 400-meter hurdles.
Wow.
She actually was a 400-meter hurdler before she came to Pembroke, and she hopes to score very well at the Peach Belt Conference meet. Mid-distance, we have Ashley Dowdy, Kendall Boykin, distance Savannah Fornshell, Kendra Dorn, all runners that can score at the Peach Belt Conference meet.
Okay, well, let me ask you kind of a weird question. I mean, is collegiate track and field similar to Olympic track and field in that there's a whole bunch of events going on at the same time? And if that's the case, how do you and your coaching staff kind of monitor everybody at the same time? It's got to be just sort of chaotic going on sometimes, doesn't it?
It can be if you have multiple people in different events at the same time. And it is similar, to answer your question, it is similar. We get an itinerary of a meet, and there's the running itinerary and then, or the track itinerary and the field itinerary. And typically they're going to overlap throughout a meet. And especially at bigger meets, it doesn't really become an issue because of how many flights and heats there are. Usually I only have one or two athletes competing at a time, so usually we're able to address all the athletes' needs, the pre-race pep talk, the encouragement during the meet, the follow-up, and it works out fairly well.
Okay, well the season's well underway. The team's already had 2 events under its belt. Is the coaching staff happy with the results so far?
Very. The first 2 meets we've had were indoor meets, and indoor track and field is not a sanctioned sport here at UNC Pembroke yet. I hope that's the case in the future. So we really use it as the meets as fitness assessments to see where we are. And we're happy, and it was kind of planned out because the ones we took were the ones that prepared throughout the winter to race well. So we knew the ones we were taking were going to run well. Had some excellent performances from Jonathan Williams in the 400, broke the school record. The 4x4 relay broke the school record. Kendall Boykin, Matt Thompson, and Zach Millsaps had excellent mile runs. Blair Long PR'd by 31 seconds in the 3K. So to have those kind of results early on is a really good sign for outdoor.
How common is track and field in high school sports here in North Carolina? So I mean, how large is your recruiting pool?
It's large. I haven't came across many schools that at the high school level that don't have track and field, and we're very lucky on the sprint side that we're in North Carolina to recruit from, because North Carolina traditionally has very strong sprinters. A little weaker on the distance side, but we still are able to make do with the depth of our team from North Carolina, and then a couple out of state. Got Pardon Lovu from Zimbabwe, Chris Schroll in the past from Washington, Livia Mahaffey from Washington, Matt Reith from Washington. We're lucky to be in North Carolina to be able to recruit from this recruiting pool.
Okay, well you mentioned Jonathan Williams already a little bit. You mentioned he set 2 school records at the Gene Anderson Invitational, the 400 and part of the 400 relay team. Focus a little bit on Jonathan for me, and why is he such a valuable asset to this team?
Okay, if it says anything, his nickname is actually Rocket. They've been calling him Rocket since freshman year, and it stuck because he is so fast and such a hard worker. So if that speaks to him at all. He's the kind of guy that just goes out, does what the coaching staff asks of him, inspires others to keep working hard because he works his butt off. He came in and he was a good runner, low 50s in the 400, and then last year he came out and ran a 48.2 in the 400. And when you're able to run a high 47, low 48, you're someone, and Rocket has become someone for our team. And
chopping 2 or 3 seconds off of your time in that short period of time has got to be pretty amazing for you. Well, I want to talk about the track a little bit, if we will. The track is in the process of undergoing some repairs. I know it wasn't in the greatest of shape. I wanted to ask you first how the repairs are going. How are things looking so far?
Okay. Well, we've recently just shut down the track actually to start resurfacing the actual asphalt before we put down either Binen polyurethane or Mondo surface. So right now we're practicing over at Pernod Sweat, who's been the local high school has been more than accommodating and letting us practice over there. We're excited to have the track back because not only will it be a great place to practice, but it'll be a great place for college meets, high school meets, and then hopefully in the future the conference championship, because it'll be one of the nicest facilities in the Southeast.
I'm sure you guys are looking forward to getting it all laid down. What kind of timetable are we talking here for the track?
It's hard to tell right now. It's kind of out of our hands. in the hands of the administration right now. So we're just kind of going along and just listening for updates. So hopefully very soon.
All right, Coach. Well, we're happy that you could join us on the show, and we're looking forward to a very successful track season from you guys this year.
Thank you for having me.
That's all the time that we have for this week's edition of the Black and Gold Report. Until next week, go Braves.